Welcome back to MJL 3764, collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today I thought we'd take a look at another live album. So let's pick one, and let's pick MSG. Elvis, as recorded at Madison Square Garden, was issued in 1972 and reached number 3 in the UK album charts. This copy here is the first press. It's got a laminate front cover. Features a picture of Elvis in his pyramid jumpsuit, which was not a suit that he wore at the Madison Square Garden concerts. A lot of fans have a little bit of a gripe about this, as well as the lower album. Didn't feature pictures from the actual concert, but you must remember back in the day, this album was rush released. It was in the shops in America within just over a week, and the artwork had to be done beforehand. So the picture of Elvis on the front was only taken a couple of months prior in 1972, so I have no problem with that. Backside of the UK copy looks like that. And the original copy was on a gloss orange label, and as most fans know, it said Elvis Live at Madison Square Garden, which was an incorrect title, as the album is actually called Elvis Has Recorded at Madison Square Garden. So that's how you can tell the first copy. Issued again a couple of times. I think there was one in 1975. This is 1977 press. It's now on a matte cover. Backside's the same. We've had for 2 albums, Elvis Now, and in England we had the reissue of the first album, Rock and Roll, with a different cover. So the American copies of these feature, I believe it sings hits from the movies, the Camden album. We'll look at that later. As most fans know, this record had no bands to it, so it's very hard to queue up a track if you wanted to hear it. This was so they could squeeze all the album onto vinyl. This copy now has the correct title. It was issued again in 1980, and this is my original copy, which is probably why it looks a little beat up. Very well played indeed. This I paid £2.99 for, and it's now on the new black RCA label. Here's an American copy now. As you can see, the RCA Victor's slightly different colour. It's more grey than the UK white. It's a matte cover, of course. As we said, the back cover ads are slightly different from the UK copy. You've got the Elvis Now and sings hits from the movie, and in the UK you've got Elvis Now and the reissue of the Rock and Roll album. So a slight difference in the cover there. There's a track listing. Stellar live versions of, well, almost everything on here. Proud Mary, I really like You've Lost That Loving Feeling. Obviously The Impossible Dream is on here. Great show. Most people know that there was 4 shows at Madison Square Garden. June the 9th, 1 show. June the 10th, 2 shows. And June the 11th, 1 show. So in 3 days Elvis played to 80,000 people. And of course this is the Saturday evening show. This was on the Dynaflex, as you can see, very flippy record. And I had the inner sleeve. Let's look at the inner sleeve. Nice inner sleeves then. American releases. Another one here with the Dynaflex inner sleeve. Here's a copy of the Madison Square Garden album from Portugal. You can see this one, the quality of the cover is not really up to scratch. You can see from the other copies. Picture's not very good quality. Back cover's different also. It's just a plain back cover, no ads. And the record's on the orange. There's a few things about this label as well. If you take a look, the artist name, Elvis, is right in the middle of the song titles. Not on the bottom, but in the middle. And if you look closely at the song titles, Heartbreak Hotel there, somehow it's got a C in it. Well, that's spelt wrong. But a nice variant to have. There is a myth surrounding this album that the tapes were sped up to get the whole live concert onto one single record. Well, I don't believe this to be true, although the great drummer Ronnie Tutt did say in an Elvis documentary that he thought that the tapes had been sped up, but I think he forgot how great he was and how quick he could play actually. But to me, these tapes are not sped up at all. The evidence for this is, if you look at the film Elvis on Tour, you'll see that Elvis was doing stuff like Proud Mary and Poke Salad just as fast as he was on this album here. If you listen to the original live versions by Elvis on the on-stage album of, say, Proud Mary and Poke Salad Annie, yes, they are a lot slower. The drumming's different because on the on-stage album you've got Bob Lanning as the drummer, as Ronnie wasn't available for Elvis's second engagement in Vegas. And obviously Ronnie puts his own stamp on these ones. But I don't think the tapes are sped up at all. And if you've got the CD of this LP, you put this in your CD player, you'll find that it runs for 52 minutes, 50 seconds, which with no bands, as we've discussed earlier, could just about squeeze onto an album. Also in this lovely deluxe set, Prince from Another Planet. In the booklet there, they went back to the original tapes and they state that they were not sped up. So it is as Elvis recorded it. Any self-respecting Elvis fan knows that in 1972 Elvis was doing shows where he just came on, very little reaction to the audience. He just came on, done the songs. As soon as one song finished, he started another. And the chat with the audience had gone in 72. He just seemed to want to get on, perform the music and leave. So these were very fast-paced shows. In fact, All Shook Up on this album lasts for like 58 seconds or something. A lot of fans say that he did rush through the 50s material in the 70s, but I think there's still a lot of energy to this album, and it is one of my favourite live albums of Elvis. As a complete show, 10 out of 10 for me. And as a drummer, obviously, if you want to hear how good Ronnie Tutt is, this is the album to go to. He's drumming on Proud Mary, That's Alright. The feels that he puts into You've Lost That Loving Feeling, the quickness of Polk Salad Annie, the foot pedal work in Never Been to Spain, absolutely excellent. A very good release. That's the original CD when it came out, and obviously you had a little bit later An Afternoon in the Garden, which was the afternoon show, which was quite longer actually. This one's at about 60 minutes if you put that in your CD, so it's a little longer. There's an extra 3 tracks on this one than on this one. There's actually 4 different songs that Elvis done in this show. He did Blue Suede Shoes, Reconsider Baby, I'll Remember You, and Until It's Time for You to Go, which make it a longer show than this one. But on this one, he did The Impossible Dream, which he didn't do on this show. So 2 very good releases on CD, and obviously the one we just spoke about, Prince from Another Planet. Very good box. Let's have a quick look at that. This 2 CD, 1 DVD box set came out in 2012, and it's probably the ultimate release to get. There's a hype sticker there. Picture of Elvis on the front. Obviously, as some fans have pointed out, at some stage during the concert he took his belt off, and when he put it on for the finale, he or Charlie Hodge put it on upside down. That's the back side with the 2 concerts and some DVD footage of the afternoon show, which was really nice to have at the time. Although I do have a gripe with it, there's only so much fan footage they've got. They put the whole audio on there, but when there's no fan footage, the screen just goes completely blank. With all the amount of photographs from Madison Square Garden, I would have personally have put photographs in the blank spaces rather than just leave a complete black screen. Minor gripe, but that's my take on it. They're housed like this. Not my favourite, very hard to get the discs out. But a very nice release, and a nice booklet as well to go with it. Sounds excellent. Well worth getting. Just another gripe, when these were originally issued on CD, for some reason they like to print that on the covers, original album art, which they put on the CD covers, which we know it's the original album art, and now as they've printed that on the cover, it's now not the original album art, because that didn't have that printed on the original cover, if you see what I mean. So to me that was a waste of time. But very good sounding CDs, very good sounding album. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and just remember, while there's music, life's no waste.